Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. I'm so excited. How about you? I love a Friday, Fun Friday, as I like to call them. So let's start Fun Friday off on a Thursday night with these fun little yarn eggs. This is what we're making today. They're so fun. So one's just a little Easter egg, and the other is a little chick. So it's a very basic class today, but it's perfect for our younger friends. And I think it's just a little therapeutic for anybody. We're doing a lot of winding of yarn. It's going to be really fun. So I hope that you have as much fun as I did making these. So would you please let us know where you're from and how old you are as you're coming in? And then I'm going to switch my camera here so that we can go over the supplies. And also, if you would love, we would love to see what you have made. And so if your adult can tag us at Learn with Michaels and then me at La Cozy Casita, I would love to see what you've made. So you could also use these hashtags, and I believe Chanel, she usually has those somewhere, I think. So that will be there for you. And let's go ahead and go over supplies. Okay, so we are going to need these little cuties here. And you can make these as big or small as you like. The one thing that you're going to need right away that may take you a little more time is just finding some cardboard around your house. This one came off a fruit cut box. It's a little thinner. I think a cereal box works fantastically. So if you have a cereal box, grab that. Um, any of the Creatology boxes, any of the old boxes work really well. These are the perfect size, the perfect thickness for little hands. I would not recommend like an Amazon box. That's going to be really hard to cut. But if you have a cereal box or a pasta box, even some cardstock would work, but a little thicker than cardstock. If all you have is cardstock or construction paper, that is completely fine too. You will just need to be a little more gentle as you're wrapping the yarn around your eggs. So you are going to need two different types of yarn if you have them. If you just have one, just stick with the one color that you've got. So I have yellow for my little chick. So that's what I used for this guy. And this multicolored yarn, and if you don't have this exact one, it's totally fine. This is what I use for just the Easter egg. You can use whatever you have. Then you're going to need, like I said, some type of cardboard, a pencil for writing or a marker. A pencil is preferred so you can erase any mistakes. And then see, I use this kind of construction-ish paper for this guy. So you can see that it can still be done. It can still be made with the thinner paper. And I'll just show you how to be delicate with it. And you're going to need some orange paper for the chick's little legs. See how we kind of accordion styled those. Some taper glue. So I just use some regular household tape. You can use glue if that's what you have. And then we're going to need some Google eyes and a little bit of foam, or if you don't have foam, you can use paper. Okay. I am using some things from my Creatology craft case. So we've used lots and lots and lots of things from our Creatology craft case. So I'm going to show you the items that I used from there. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way here. Some of the things that I use in my craft case, if you have yours, like I said, we often use our craft case. So most likely, if you've taken my class before, you have used your craft case. So let me come up here a little bit. and you will wait till that comes into focus. Sometimes I have to come up here and say, follow me. Or just move it out of the way. Maybe it just, there we go. So in your craft case, you could grab glue. I'm just using the same glue. It comes in the bigger bottle. So I'm going to use that. You will use your foam stickers. And so I use those foam stickers for the chick's feet. I used a square one or a triangle for his little beak. And I used the foam stickers on the Easter egg. So just grab this whole bag. And if you've already used your foam from your craft case, you can use the pom-poms. There's so many things in here that you could use. You could cut some out on your own. And then Google Eyes. That's what I use for the chick. If you don't have Google Eyes, you can cut some shapes out. You can make your own Google Eyes or your own eyes out of some construction paper or paper. You could even use the pom-poms. There are lots of things you could use to make eyes. All right, are you guys ready to get started? Let's see if we have any shout outs.
So we have two comments so far. We have Luke from Connecticut. He didn't share his age, and then Aubrey from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. She also didn't share her age, but I believe she's been in our classes before. And if I remember correctly, she's 16.
Ooh, that's a good memory. Impressive, Chanel. Well, welcome, Luke and Aubrey. We're so glad you're here. And you guys, at any time, just share in the Q&A and we will give you shout outs. We love to do that. So anytime you can do that, or if you have any questions, remember this is going to be posted tomorrow on YouTube so that you can see this again in case you missed something, or you want to, maybe you're watching right now and you want to go to the store and grab some materials and you can make these items tomorrow. So anytime, just feel free to jump in that Q&A. And we're going to go ahead and get started by making an egg. So have you ever made an egg before? It's super easy. It's basically an oval. That's all you're going to do is make an oval. And so the only difference is, and I'll try to show you on a piece of white paper so you can see the difference between an oval and an egg shape, is I'm getting a piece of white paper just so you can see it better. And I'm going to grab a marker just for the sake of you being able to see. So for my new friends, we've got an oval, right? For someone who's never made an egg shape before, you're making an oval, except for the oval is skinnier at the top. So I came in more with my marker to kind of like a rounded point. And that's how I got my egg shape. So I'm coming like this, going around like an oval, but I'm coming in a little more like that. Okay. So you could also make a T on your paper, and that would help you. So you're just coming in a little bit, and then you go out wider, and then come in a little more narrow. My marker's running out. Good thing I've got plenty more. So that just kind of gives you an idea of what we are looking at here. I don't know if you can see that. So let me get a darker marker. So you're coming in like this. And if you use pencil, you'll really be able to, you could sketch it out until you get your right line. So this is sketching, where you're kind of like making several lines like this until you get the right size that you like. Okay, it looks like a bunch of little lines, or you could just eyeball it. And remember, just bring it in a little more narrow at the top. Okay, so oval, egg. So that is what we are going to be doing. Move my paper out of the way. And let's make our egg shape. I like to start out with pencil, like I said, because if I make a mistake, I can always erase it. It does not matter which size you make your eggs, but if you want me to tell you what size my eggs are, this guy is about 6 inches tall, and he's about 4.5 inches wide. But yours can be truly any size you like.
Elizabeth, we also have Envita here with their mom. Envita is 7 years old from San Jose.
Hi, Envita. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. So when you're making your little eggs, can you see mine kind of looks like a raindrop? So I'm going to come in like this. So the top is not as sharp. I don't have a corner. If I left that corner there, it would be more of a raindrop, and that's fine too. Okay, so there's my one egg. So I'm going to go ahead and get my scissors, and I used my scissors from my craft case, but if you are using a thicker cardboard, you might want to use stronger scissors or have your adult cut your egg out for you. So this side of my egg is white. And so that's kind of what I want to show through. You can see I used a cereal box, so you can see that this side is printed. So I used the solid side facing up. That's my pretty side. So I'm just going to open, close all the way around my shape here, my egg. Just like this. And I'm going to cut it away. Instead of cutting all the way around, I'm just cutting this off. And that's going to help me turn my paper a little better, because it can sometimes be hard to turn. Like right now, it's getting a little hard to turn and cut at the same time. So a nice little hack is just to cut this extra part off, just like that. And then you'll be able to turn a little easier. Now it's getting hard again for me, so I'm just going to chop that part off. So especially if you're using a thicker piece of cardboard or paper, that's a little trick I like to use. There we go. So here's my egg. I'm going to throw away this extra stuff. Now you can see this is not a perfect egg, and that's okay. Totally fine. You can see if you look carefully, this is not a perfectly shaped egg either. Totally fine, you guys, because look at how adorable it's going to turn out. Okay, so let's go ahead. Once we have that out, I'm going to grab my yarn. Okay, and then before we start on this one, if you wanted to read any more, I don't know if any more shout outs came in before we start.
We have 2 more.
Okay.
We have Ragatha Rain here from Delaware. And then Kiki, who is 4 with her mom from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Hello, welcome. I love to hear all these states coming in. It's so fun. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so this is how we're going to get started. And it truly does not matter which side you start on because it's going to get covered up. You can see that we're going to wrap this a lot. Now, if you are starting out and you are a young kiddo, like my 4-year-old, Mom might want to start bringing some of this yarn out first And just make sure that you don't get it tangled. You want to be a little careful not to get it tangled up. Okay. So here's my end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape the end on the back of the egg. Now, I'm going to show you a trick if you don't have tape. All you're going to do is hold it. So for my friend, my 4-year-old friend, your adult might have to help you first. Get this nice and stuck behind there. And then what you can do is you can start winding it up. Now look what I have here. Do you see my yarn kind of, I've got a knot in it and that's just how it came off. But guess what? I'm going to still go with that because look, it's on the back. You're never going to see it. If it was going to be on the front, all I would do is cover it. So you can see I've gotten started and I didn't even use tape. Now I am going to go ahead and just for extra good measure, safe measure, I'm going to go ahead and just put a little piece of tape. But you could make this so that you did not need the tape. I would not glue it until later because then you're going to get your hand in the glue and that's no fun. So as you can see, I'm starting to wrap. So with one hand, I'm holding my egg, and with the other hand, I'm wrapping the yarn and I'm kind of pulling it a little tight. And what I'm going to do is I'm just turning my egg in different directions. There are no rules for the way that you wrap your egg. Now, I'm going to show you once you get up here to this pointed edge here, hold on to your yarn in the back. Hold on to it right here because it likes to slip off a little bit. See how it just kind of slips? So you're going to kind of hold on to both sides and just kind of wrap. Maybe come over here. Just gets a little tricky towards that point there. It likes to slip right off. So you could also switch hands and put the yarn in your right hand. So now do you see how I have a lot of yarn up here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to start covering down here a little. I'm going to pull some more of my yarn. Use my right hand now. And I'm just going to start wrapping in different directions, just like this. And you'll see it starts to get a little thicker, especially in the middle. It's going to get thicker. I'm going to zoom in. And then you're going to see that your egg is going to start to take shape. Just keep turning, spinning, and you might not have as much progress as I do right now, and that's totally fine. Because you could just keep going, keep going, keep going, or make it more bare if you wanted. You could make it, see how it's kind of making shapes here? You could make a pattern if you wanted to. You could really wrap this however you want. And I have so much of this yarn. It's kind of fun to see how full I can make it. So here's a bare spot. I'm going to try to cover here. Here's another one. And if you have bare spots, that's fun too, because then you can kind of see what it was made of. There we go. So what I wanted to do, how I first started coming up with the idea for this class is I wanted to make those yarn eggs with the balloon. So you blow up a balloon and then you wrap yarn around the balloon. But what you have to do with the yarn is dip it in like a borax glue kind of solution. And I was hoping to make it work just with regular school glue, but I was having trouble. And I thought, oh man, this is getting really messy for a kids class. So I decided, let's change it. Let's make it like this, a lot less messy. So you'll have to let me know if you decide to do the other yarn egg with the balloon, because what you do is you pop the balloon and then you're left with beautiful yarn in the shape of an egg. It's really very pretty. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop here. You can see how thick it got. Look at that. Isn't that cool? This is a good stopping place for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop on the back side. So this is my front side. This is my back side. I'm going to cut it and tape the end. Just like that. So I pulled that last piece of yarn, I pulled it tight, and I just taped it down. So now what do I have left to do? Well, we've got to give him a little face and a cute little beak and some cute little legs and 2 little feet. So let's make his little face. How's that sound? You're going to get your googly eyes. I actually have a whole box of googly eyes. So I'm going to use my box. You have a bag if you're using your craft case. Oh, you know what? I've been wanting to use these little, look at these. Do you see these googly eyes have eyelashes? Let me see if I can get it into focus for you. I'm having trouble because it's focusing on this thing. Let's see. It's a little hard to see, but I'm going to go ahead and use these little googly eyes. What a perfect time to use these with the eyelashes. Now, I always have trouble taking off the sticker part of these because I have nails and the polish on my nails does not allow me to pull off the sticky part. So I always have to use a tool to help me. So here's one. And you just push it down on there. And then here's the other. Give her some eyelashes. Maybe I'll give her a bow even. It'd be cute. The eyelashes make her look sleepy. Okay. Now a beak. So I'm just going to grab my square, orange square. And what I'm going to do is just cut straight across one of these little corners. So I'll zoom in for you. I'm just going to cut right across like this. And that's going to give me a beak. So I will peel. This one's much easier to peel. And then just stick that upside down triangle right there. Doesn't she look sleepy? Okay, now we're going to work on the legs. Let me put my tool away. All right, so for our legs, all we're going to do is cut some paper and we're going to accordion fold. So I'll show you how we accordion fold. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a strip, about a 1/2 inch. All the way up. And it doesn't matter what the length is. It's whatever you decide. This is giving Big Bird. Totally, you guys. You might be too young to know Big Bird. But Chanel and I know Big Bird. Okay, so all I did was cut that in half. So now I have my two pieces, and now I'm going to accordion fold them. So this is how you accordion fold. You're going to fold just one little side in, just like that. Do you see? I just folded a little piece in like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the paper over, and then I'm going to fold the same-ish length again. So I'm going to keep folding this way, but the only difference is I'm flipping my paper. So watch, the part that I just folded, I'm going to put that face down on my mat. Here's my fold on this side, and I'm going to fold it in again. Now I have to flip the paper again, flip. So now the part that I just folded is facing towards the mat. This is flat, and I'm going to fold again. Like an accordion, which is an instrument where you have to pull it in and out to make sounds. That's why this is called an accordion fold. So I just keep flipping, folding, flip, fold, flip, fold. There we go. See, it's like a little accordion. That's why it's called an accordion fold. So I'm going to do the same thing on this leg, and I'm going to try to remember the size fold that I did, so it can kind of match. But if it doesn't match perfectly, it's okay. Just so you're kind of in the same, yeah, that's about the right size. Then fold again. Flip. Fold. Flip. Fold. So this one, I'm not being as particular to get the perfect fold because I just want to show you it's okay. Doesn't have to be perfectly folded. And voila, there we go. Now we have another little leg. So each side, you're probably going to have it a little bigger or a little smaller. So I just try to match those. So these are my wider ends. They're bigger ends than these. So I'm going to use these two to tape on my egg. So I'm going to turn my egg around, and I'm going to put a piece of tape on the paper, and I'm going to tape it right to the yarn, just like that. And the reason why tape works a little better here for yarn is because yarn would soak in the glue. It would work eventually. It would be fine, but it would just take a lot more glue than maybe you'd want to use. Can't believe this is like a big bird egg. Okay, so now I'm going to be using, I'm going to get my dots. Let's see. I may have used all of my orange dots from last time. So I'm going to grab some more. Get these guys. But if you're completely out, you could totally make some too. I am going to get some out of my case. Let's see if I can find some orange circles. And here's a little orange circle. You could do that. You know, the other thing you could do is you could get, oh, this is cute, guys. Maybe I'll just do this. Little triangles. What do you think? Triangles or circles? Put your votes in the Q&A. Do you think we should make triangle feet or circle feet? What is your vote? If we do circle feet, they're going to be smaller like this because we don't have the big circles in this pack. Oh, here's one. See if I can find two. So you're going to decide. Here's another circle. You could do, so you could take the square and cut it right in half and do two triangles, because I may only have the one triangle. Let's see. Big money, big money. Let's look for a big triangle. I don't think I see a big triangle, which means I'm going to have to cut one of the squares in half to make his foot. So are we going circle or are we going triangle?
It looks like big circles is what is winning.
Okay. Big circles. I think either would work, guys, too. You could do stars. You could do whatever you have. The fun thing is that you're in charge of your creation. So if you think it's fun to give them blue feet, give your little chick blue feet. That's the fun of it, just being creative. So we are going big circles. That's what the vote said. Big circles. So we're doing it. Okay. Pull off. Oh, I forgot the foam is easy to pull off. It's the googly eyes that give me trouble. Okay, so there's one. And we're just going to stick it right on. And then if you have, this is something I like to do, just to take some of that sticky off. Just put some of the fibers from the yarn is going to help that to become less sticky. Peel off the other. So cute. So you can see I made it so much smaller. There we go. Isn't that cute, guys? So we have a big one and a small one. Let's take off some of the sticky here. There we go. Little chick Easter egg. You did it. This one's quite heavy. This one's much heavier. All right. Are you ready for the other? So here's our little egg, friends. And we're going to make the Easter egg now. So we've got to start by drawing an Easter egg or the shape of an egg. Do you remember how to do it? So this one, I'm going to show you how I was able to make it just using regular paper. I do prefer using the cereal box or a thicker box, a pasta box, any type of boxes that you get from the big stores when you're packing your lunch. We have a lot of those usually. But like I said, I would not recommend a cardboard box or an Amazon box because those are just a little too thick. Okay, so remember when we make our oval shape, it just comes in a little more at the top. That's how you get an egg shape. So I'm going to come around and like I said, you can sketch it by making a lot of little lines. And that will give you, some people can just draw right around. Some like to move the paper. This one needs to come out a little more. I'm going to erase this guy. I want him to have a little rounder on the bottom. There we go. So you could just play with it and make your oval however you like, or your egg shape. And then I might even make this a little bigger because it looks a little small to me. So I'm going to come out like this. All the way around. Let me fix them. Give them a little trimmy trim. No, he's on the struggling. All right, here we go. Let's fix them. Sometimes it's hard to see if you're just cutting it like that. But the great thing is that when you are using the yarn, kind of covers it up a little bit. So it does not have to be perfect. There we go. We kind of have a general egg shape there. All right. Again, we're not looking for perfection. It's okay. So since I drew on this side, this is the side that I'm going to tape. Okay. So I'm going to tape on this side. And since it's a flimsier, see how thin this is? I have to be a little more gentle when I'm wrapping it. I'm holding it gently. And I'm turning it. And remember, it slips off here at the top. We got to kind of hold on to it. Let's try to anchor it down by crossing it. Are you guys doing okay? How are you doing? You guys are quiet today. Usually we have a lot more conversation happening. You must be busy wrapping. Ooh, I like this blue color, you guys. Do you like that blue? That is so pretty. And the pink is coming, which I really like too. Okay, I gotta hold on to it because it's gonna slip. And if your 4-year-old is having trouble, you could just tape every once in a while. Just tape the back and let them wrap. And then tape the back again and let them wrap so the whole thing doesn't slip off. I love this tie-dye. So tell me what colors you are making your eggs out of. Let us know in the Q&A what color are your eggs. Did you just do the yellow? Did you choose other colors? What are you wrapping your eggs in? Ooh, here comes that pink. It's so pretty.
We do have a couple comments. From Raggy Rain, we have, she says, Wanishi, Wanishi, which means thank you, wonderful class.
Oh.
And then we have Envita, we are having so much fun. We're doing a blue egg.
Ooh. Pretty. Thank you so much. What language was that? That was very cool.
And Kiki chose purple.
Purple. That's a good color. That's what color my nails are. Purple. Wrapping these around. So during the school day, I'm a teacher and I used to be a kindergarten teacher, but now I teach kindergartners and first graders, some fifth graders, but mostly kindergartners and first graders. I teach them English. So I'm an English as a second language teacher, you might know it as, but it's multi languages, teacher of children with multi languages. Wow.
Kiki says she's going to add other colors too.
Ooh, oh, that's a good idea. So if you don't have yarn like mine, where it changes colors, you could just use other colors of yarn together. That would look really pretty. So do you see mine, since mine's a yarn that I was just talking about, how it just kind of transitions into other colors? What's happening now is if I keep wrapping, I'm going to have just a purple egg, because look at how much purple I have to go before it starts turning to pink again. I have quite a lot of purple. That's where it starts turning to pink. So because of that, and because I don't want it to get too much thicker, I'm going to stop here. And also, I don't know how I feel about this color right here. It's a little more gray, so I'm going to unravel it just a little bit more there, because you heard me say how much I like that pink color, and I really want that pink color to show through. And this is showing up as blue on my screen. I don't know how it's showing up for you, but this is a purple color. It's like grape, like a Concord grape green. So let's turn it around. It kind of looks navy on my screen. All right. So this is the spot where I'm going to trim it, and I'm going to tape it. Right.
While you're doing that, we have Mary, who's 6. She chose orange and yellow. And then
Ooh,
Beth, who is 3, chose red and white. And
nice.
then Kiki also wanted to let you know that she has a black cat.
A black cat. What's your cat's name? Wow. We do not have any pets, and my children really want pets, but guess what? We can't because I'm allergic. So I have a feeling that if I had a kitty cat, it would be right here. Because I feel like a lot of times when I see people with Zoom with kitty cats, the kitty cat usually likes to be right here with them. So you'll have to let me know if you think that's true. And do you have a cat? What kind of cats or pets do you have at home? All right, it's time to decorate with our circles. You don't have to just decorate circles. I'm going to pull out the circles just like I did here. But if you wanted to use the other shapes, by all means, do it. I'm going to just grab my circles here. Here we go. So, are you guys going to be decorating Easter eggs when they come? When Easter comes a little closer. I don't know if I've seen any of the Easter egg dyeing kits yet. I'm sure I have. I just haven't been looking for them. Ooh, I like this purple. This green is a good color. And pull out this green. There we go. I think that's good. All right, let's put all these guys back. I kind of like to try to clean up as I go, because if you're in a craft room, it can get really messy really fast. And I am guilty of that. So I'm going to try to clean up my space a little bit as I go. Let me put this here. So as I finish up this part, you can see where to find us, how to find us. Go. Because we want to see your final fun creations. All right, I'm going to start adding my little felt hearts. Right anywhere you want. You can put these anywhere you like. Like the pink one. Only got one pink one. That little kit has lasted me almost a whole year. I only just bought a new kit. I'm gonna put it right there. So I like to kind of space these out so they're not all in a line. They're all kind of in different spots. getting a little dark now. Let me brighten my light here. See if that helps. Or did it make it darker? Our sun went down on our class. Hopefully that helped a little more. Okay. Are you guys excited for daylight savings time? We're going to have another hour of bright sun. It won't be dark anymore when you go to sleep. Maybe. I remember all the time when we had daylight savings time, my kids would say, but it's still light outside. And now my kids are older. Isn't that fun? It's a polka dot Easter egg. So I'm not going to put a blue here. I'm going to put a red here because I've got a blue one right here. So I'm kind of spreading them out a little. There we go. And you know what? I think I'm going to stop right here. I don't know that I'm going to add this guy because I think I've got enough there. So there we have it. We've got our 2 yarn Easter eggs. We've got just the plain polka dot. And then we have the one that looks like Big Bird. It's all in the eyelashes. There, now you can see it a little better. So now you'll have to have your adult show you who Big Bird is if you don't know. And you'll say, oh yeah, that's exactly what she was talking about. Okay. So let me show you. I'm going to switch my camera so you can see my face and I'll talk to you for a second. And then I want to show you our new project coming up for next week. So let me pull this out and get it ready. Okay. Switch my camera. This is always a surprise when I go back to see myself on the camera. I'm like, whoa. Because I was getting down and dirty with the crafting. Sometimes my hair is all out of place and it's always a surprise. I never know what I'm going to get. But good job, you guys. Weren't these fun? Yeah, how fun they are. You can really see them in the bright light now. I really liked making these. It was just a really fun class. I hope my young friends were able to do this. I try to do some easier classes for my younger friends, some beginner classes. But what I want to show you is a class that we're going to be doing next week. Now, this class is a little more difficult. This is a little more advanced, but I know probably your adult with you will know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. Do you know? Look up here. We're going to be making pot holders. So these have been around ever since I was a little girl. See? So you put these bands on the tray and you stretch them all the way around. So you can see I started to make a rainbow. And then what you have to do is you take another band from this side and you weave it in and out, in and out, in and out. Then what you do is you pull off all these bands and you kind of have to weave some things around. So this is why it's an advanced class. Pull them all off and they end up turning out like this. Little pot holder. Isn't that cool? So I hope you'll join me next week. Now, I would say that this is a good class for 9 and up, but don't let me stop you. If you feel like, you're 7 and you say, hey, I could do that, please do it. We want you to join us. It's just a little tricky. This part isn't tricky. It's just weaving in and out. That's a little tricky. So, but if you have an adult with you that can help you, I say go for it. So that is going to be next week. And it might be a longer class. We'll see. It won't be longer than an hour though, but we'll definitely just make 1 is my guess. We're not going to make 2 because it will take a little longer. Okay. So I guess that's it. Oh, Chanel has a kitty cat. Okay, friends. Well, I hope you had the best time. I know I did, and I would love, love, love to see your uh projects. Could you tag us? We would love it. So at Learn with Michaels, or you can find me at la_cozy_casita. That's how you can find me and show me your creation. I would love to see it. If you have any other questions, please let us know. And let's see. I think that's it. Okay, let me switch so that I can say goodbye unless we have any questions, Chanel.
We just have one comment from Kiki and her mom. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. I hope you guys had a good time. I know I always do. I look forward to this class once a week. It's so much fun for me. So I hope to see you next week. And remember, if you missed anything in this class, you can check it out on YouTube. It'll be there tomorrow, or you can find any of my other classes. It's there on YouTube as well. All right, we'll talk to you later, guys. Have a great rest of the week. Have an awesome weekend. We'll see you later.